Me for lying to you, but soon there won't be enough God left to talk about this, and you'll find him ripping out the pages of a library book, June 24th, 1992. I started writing poetry again. His word was that it could never be used out of context, never against his will. Frederick Douglass said they used the Bible to justify hating. All I knew was that somebody had to be lying. Think, Terrance. Think, Terrance, this isn't the way it's supposed to be, Terrance. This isn't the way that God intended it. 1500s. I was labeled mental illness. They placed drills against my skull, still alive. There was something too wrong about one who would choose to love themselves. Killing me was natural, see. There's no appropriation in it. One chooses to be gay, they are simply not born that way. Their leaders call me a killer, no different than murderers. When the only life I'm known to have taken is my own, being gay is a choice, they spit this. I find it funny that a few of them have vaginas that rock banners for pro-choice. I don't know why I dislike sauerkraut. I just simply dislike that shit. Choice turns choice. Everyone has a choice to choose. Choose to be straight. Choose to be straight turns. And have a congregation of hypocrites rejoice. I wonder when someone will sit down and finally answer the question, who the hell chooses this? I was 3 when I knew I didn't like girls. Just knew that something was quote and unquote wrong about it, so I started choosing to deny myself of what I wanted. I started choosing to have God love me a certain kind of way instead of this way. I started choosing to hate myself unconditionally when the truth of the matter is I was taught that, see.
Oh my. Come on, sir.
I live in a world where being a black gay male is considered an oxymoron. But I ask you,
wow,
single mothers, since when did fucking you make a man out of him? You know, I've been called things.
Come on, sir, let's go.
Like faded and confused. A pedophile for sure, and I'm a fairy tale unless I've been molested, but here I am. Correction, been here. Disproving all of your truths. You know, the same men asking you to Christianize me are the same ones that got you afraid of triangles and rulers, got you afraid to learn something, got you convinced that every form of success is demonic. I'm telling you, they've been conditioning bottom feeders, and with this mentality, you'll never become top dogs, so you settle for being versatile by fucking each other over, and a lot of you are too concerned with how many studs you can get, because past knows you gotta be fashionable in order to worship God, see. I'm knowledgeable about my roots. And when the truth is too hot for you, you all like to stand in the shade, but allow me to illuminate the water droplets in the sky. Someone's tears have been shed, they form a rainbow, and the color red is everywhere. So blame that for my lack of concentration inside concentration camps. Did you know they hated me more? Because after World War II, I was stuck inside worldwide prisons. Reasons why I laugh at the state of black politics. Question, what do gays and slaves have in common? Simple struggle. As the rope tightens around loose necks and arms, you can recognize trial. I know beside you, brother, trying to wash off the traces of gasoline before any other parts of the rainbow could touch me. It was in those moments in Germany and America that I lived up to the name faggot. A bundle of wood, and at the crack of a whip I was segregated into lines, sometimes with pink triangles, other times with chains. They fucked and enslaved all of us, but the story of Ham said it was okay. But the irony is in your history. Did you ever learn about your history? Because in the 1940s my name was Bayard Rustin, and I helped tutor a man who would become king. I remember my first words to him was put down the gun, Martin. I know they just burn crosses in your front yard, but you need to put down the gun, Martin. Yes, I understand you have kids to protect, but you need to put down the gun, Martin. I had a dream that was going to lead these people. You need to put down the gun. And he honored that request. And I helped aid in every civil rights movement protecting black people from the crows, but in the way CP decided to box me, put me in a book. I sit your Bible. Don't you think it's funny that they never wanted you to learn how to read? And then they made it acceptable for you to only read one thing. Question, tell me what you think about me. Quote it without a verse. Can you begin to understand in your mind why you just like the fact that I have breath is similar to a racist, a sexist, a ageist? It's 2013 and the only way I can describe you is you're a fucking humanist. So now I sit in the back corners of history where I've been fucked by whites and blacks, and the only thing I have left to hold on to is my morals, like, put down the gun, Martin. I know they're talking about you, but put down the gun. They're plotting on how to kill you, but put down the gun. Don't fight that. Put down the gun. Put down the gun, Martin. Put down the gun. Put down the gun, Terrance. I thought about walking up to the nearest heterosexual couple and Huey P. them. There were times where I remember falling asleep to the sound of a clicking gun, and whenever God asked me what I was doing, I tell him. I was counting how many sheep we have left if I ever got weak enough to be as strong as the bowling ball to knock down pins in Columbine. They want to talk about procreation with little 12 and 13-year-old girls seem to be doing enough. I speak for an army of marching suicide hangers who have parents that will never teach them that chairs and stools were meant for sitting and not standing. I won't stand for this. I speak for anyone that has a cabinet full of medicine prepared for that moment where they're ready to overdose on their unhappiness. People don't really get that line until I tell them that gay means happy. Sadly, they want to generalize me with a group of pedophiles. Fine. That means that every black man is an uneducated thug nigga, capable of mating with only black, ratchet bitches. I'm just trying to make everything fair here, because I can't believe you got there's a such thing as straight pedophiles. And let's talk about rules.
Come on, sir.
Let's talk about royalties. I know that you've been blatant kings and queens. I know that you've been dethroned and washed in dirty religions, but I was worshipped too. I was a shaman and a healer. The symbol of my birth was a financial blessing, not only for me, but for the family. The Indians called me the two-spirit form.
Come on, sir.
Capable of doing work with the man and the woman. They want to blame me in video games for the end of the world. See a boy twerking to Beyonce and they cried the last of our days, but I question, where were you? Doing coliseums and gladiator tournaments, witch hunts, concentration camps, slavery, the original football, or how about the current genocide of me in Uganda? So maybe it's time for us to accept that violence is a part of human nature, and I'm beginning to get violent. See, I'm gay, and they still want to put me in straitjackets. I'm giving them a reason, because I walk with a severe belief that God is in each and every one of us, and I've been bleeding Him for far too long. So soon, there won't be enough God left to talk about this, and you'll find me ripping out the pages of a library book. Forgive me for telling you the truth.